Hello and welcome to the Stampscapes Test Lab. This is nature set number 5. We're already up to set number 45 at the time of the recording of this video, but we're going way back. This was a special request video. Someone happened to have this set, I guess, and wanted to know some ideas on how to utilize it. It's kind of in some ways, it's a specialty set with the main imagery focused around the great wave right here, this really large wave. The smaller waves are a little bit more general because you can use them in different types of settings. They're a little bit more kind of white cappy and rough just in general. But you don't have to make it that way, you know. You can have like a very calm day with this interior kind of wave I don't know, just kind of featured in terms of the, I don't know, whatever the, where the wave is breaking. If you're a surfer, that would be maybe on the inside, that means close to shore. But just in general, we'll show you some different ways where you can utilize, or how you can utilize these different images, okay? So when I'm doing it, I usually focus my main image and locate it first, okay? Now, like I said, I mean, if you get in a groove with your stamps and you kind of know, where you want to place things, you can do things like foreground first or anything like that. But I generally, if I haven't worked with a stamp in a while, I generally work from large to small. It's just like packing, some boxes or something like that. You generally start with the largest things and then you work down to the smaller things as you go along. It's just easier to fit them in. Okay, now like I said, I'm just going to do some stamp sketches here. I won't finish these off right here. I just want to kind of go over the general kind of ideas right here. But see this right here? I just kind of, this image ended right here, but I've blended in about 1/8 of an inch into the great wave here with the wave's medium, okay? Now, let's see. I'll do this without a shore here. Okay, so this one was right here, this one was right here. I'm going to go in the middle right here and overlap those ones slightly. You don't want to overlap by... With these ones, I guess you can overlap a 1/2 inch, but I would generally keep it about, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch or so. 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, maybe a 1/4 inch is better. But see this from one impression to the next, just like your cloud cumulus, if you've watched that recently, that video on how to use it, you can change the angles slightly from one impression to the next, okay? These ones really blend in really well with each other. I don't really have to wipe off the perimeter like I've recommended with the cloud because it's all tonal around. This one is both linear and tonal, but you can get these waves kind of, I don't know, kind of structured like that. These are the medium waves, and then we have the great wave like that. And then, if you want to, you can go with the small waves. Now, I can have this like this wave cresting right here, like it's right in the middle of the ocean, and have these smaller waves right here going all the way up here. In that case, I would want to mask that off because this is like a lot of open area in here. It's not like a solid pine tree where you can just stamp right over the top of it. Anything stamp over the top of it is going to look like it's in the background if it's lighter in tone than a solid black, okay? Or whatever color you're stamping in, just solid in general, okay? These are open styles of designs. Right here, we'll put this one right in here. Just as a little bit of a kind of wave in the background like that. Up here, it'd be kind of interesting with a, I don't know, like a sky element, like a moon or some clouds or something like that up there. And let's see, let's make this kind of a, I don't know, like a rough seas type of situation for this fishing boat. They've gone out and they've into the waters and they're braving these rough seas here maybe. So let me put this one right here. You can put it at a little bit of an angle. It kind of gives it a little bit more drama. But look at this right here going around like this. Oh, I'm starting to remember right here, if I don't put something like right in here in terms of a background wave, it's really fun to put like a moon or something like that. So it's like a moon kind of setting or a sunrise or something like that seen underneath the crest of the wave to the base of it like that. They call this the bowl section right here in surfing talk. All right, so there's your kind of blending like that, okay? Now let's go in and we'll blend more. I should note that I do like working kind of in a elongated format with the with these with the set for some reason, and I like going vertical with it quite a lot. The landscape or portrait, I should say, portrait. So I was doing this right here. I was starting to think about this one location, the Wedge in Newport Beach, California. It has this really kind of unusual wave there. And it breaks really close to shore, but there's this wave that comes up like that that's really kind of like breaking. It might be breaking in, I don't know, 3 feet of water or something like that, 2 feet. And guys go out and ride those waves when it gets big there. But what's happening is it kind of ricochets off this jetty that's right over there. This wave comes in, ricochets off of, and it's coming this way, and another wave's coming in like this, so it causes this wedge of a shape on the wave to come up like that. It's really pretty crazy. All right, let's see. Let's go like this right in here. And we'll make this a little bit, oops, here I should give that a little bit more of a impression right there, like so. Now what I might do on that one is I might use like the top of the Seaside Cove small, okay, to give myself a little bit more of a horizon out there. Now this is not in Nature Set number 5, the Seaside Cove, but it's one of those sets. I mean, you can do something self-contained and only use elements out of, you know, your different nature sets. But yeah, I see this as kind of a foundation too for other stamps in here. Foreground, you know, we don't have too much like on the shore here. We have the figures like that with the surfers, but that's something that you would add in into the mix. Okay. Yeah, in terms of other imagery. Okay, now I've inked this up right here. Please forgive my head here. Just trying to get my bearings here, getting this horizon line across there. This Seaside Cove is 308G, sold individually, or it also comes in the comes with the Lighthouse set, Nature Set number 12. I use this one all the time, the Seaside Coves, both large and small. It's a really good foundation stamp. Okay, so see that right there? Just that horizon right out there. And you can see how it just blends in right with those waves down below like that. Let's see. Let me pause this video. I'm going to look for my sand stamp to use in the foreground. All right, this is the snow pattern right here, but snow and sand, they both can be used the same way. All right, let's see. Let's add this down here like this. Like that. Let's see, that looks a little bit bare out there. Let's put one of the islands out there. Maybe it's Catalina Island or something like that, I don't know. Channel Islands, if it's a little bit north of Los Angeles. From the Wedge, you can't see any islands out there, though. But this will make it more interesting for us. This could be tropical too. These waves with the great with the you know, palm tree types of imagery like that. Maybe another little one out there would be cool. And again, this would be really good with like a setting sun or something like that in there. That would be a good choice for that upper area. I won't focus too much on skies with this, just because an open area like that, you can use whatever you want in there. You can make it day, night, sun, moon, stars, clouds would be great. If anyone has heard of the movie The Endless Summer, it's of I think there's like one guy standing there with a longboard in front of like maybe it's like a sunset or something like that. Movie that I've watched a gazillion times, having enjoyed surfing myself for many years. I haven't been out though in years and years and years, decades. All right, see that right there? And if you had like a sunset or something in here, that would be really fantastic, really dynamic. And again, I'm just breaking into some other imagery in here. And you'd want some separation, of course, so I would tint this a little bit differently. So you'd shade it so you could tell the difference a little bit more between sand and water. So this is like a shelf of sand, and it drops off like 4 feet. Typical type of thing at the Wedge, or where I used to go to the beach all the time as a kid. Now, if this is the Wedge, I'd put in this this body surfer right here, going down the face of the wave. They'd be like right in here. And when this goes over like that, they call that the green room. Because this is, the wave closes out and you're caught in, like the pipe. They also call it like the green room, the greenish blue color. But there we go with that. Okay. Let's see. Let's take a look on. Let's just do a piece of the antique paper. Let's see. What should we do here? Let's do another one, kind of in the spirit of I'll do it in the spirit of maybe Big Wednesday. That's another. I don't know if it's a classic at this time. I guess it is, maybe. A 1980s movie. So go up here, we'll go up high like this. Okay. See that big wave like that, curling over. We'll add some sand down here like this, maybe. Maybe we'll go at a little bit of an angle for a little bit of extra drama. Okay. Go like that. You can really dramatize some sort of shore or something like that with the baby sea turtles going out there. It looks like they'd be in really treacherous waters or something like that. But when you get underneath the water, no matter how much energy and how choppy and wavy it is up top with huge waves, when you go under the water, it's really calm. Unless you're right in the impact zone. All right, let's see. Let's go with some. Now I'm putting the smaller wave down here this time just to see how you can use that. Not just the medium wave, but you can go either one, like that. All right, so see there's a separation between these wave areas and the sand area right here, okay? Now, I did these ones a little bit lighter down there because I'm going to use my little surfer down there, but what I'm going to do here is let's do that little separation between, I guess it would be, yeah, like land and sea, shore and sea. So I'm going to do this right here. We'll just go with the, I'd use the smaller reeds normally for this. Oh, okay, I have it right here. I didn't think I had it. It's right on my desk. So there's some reeds on the other side of this little slope right here. What you do is when you're going out surfing, you're typically, if it's a big wave day, you're typically kind of watching it for a while and getting your feel for, they call it the sets. There's waves usually come in sets, and you want to get your timing of it. And if it's like a point break, it's breaking in the same place all the time. Maybe, if it's really huge or something, but on an average day, but on a big day, you kind of want to get your bearings and you can see where to paddle out. How much time you'll have to get out there. You get a feel for all that, where the waves are breaking. Okay, I'm using the larger reeds right here. So it creates this little bit of this kind of a spotlit area right here. Let me see. I'm going to use the larger one. This one's not... that's a really big wave right there. I'll put this guy right here. You could. But that would represent a wave that's like 40 feet tall if I use this small surfer right here. Which, I don't know, maybe that would create extra drama. Go right here. Sometimes the waves get really big, and it takes a while to get out into the waves because you're fighting all this white water coming in, and the sets keep coming, and it's really hard to get out there. But sometimes when it gets, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I've had a heck of a time trying to get come out of the waves because, it just keeps coming in. It's huge, and you're trying to find a break in between the sets. It's like, my God, it might take you like a half an hour to find like a break in the waves to come in back to shore. All right, so there's that one right there. So a little bit of a different configuration. A lot of us are working in standard card size formats. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 right here. You have this piece right here, the distance with the island like that. Let's go with let's do a wood grain right here. And let's do something like, so I mentioned this is the nature set number 12 or just 308G image right here. Let's hold with the wood grain here. I want to use this lighthouse here. So here's the Seaside Cove here, but let's do this. Let's still work just on a quarter-page card. Now, if I was doing this composition, I would do it a little bit larger, but let's just work quarter-page right here for this, whatever, for the sake of this demonstration here. I'll go with this right over here, coming in. I'm going to leave a little bit of space here because I'm going to use this lighthouse in here. Large stamp, I stand up a little bit to get my impression. A little bit more leverage. Then you don't have to use strength. See if this one will fit on here. This is the Light Rocks and Waves stamp right here. I'm stamping this kind of high, so this represents something a little bit closer to us. Let's go down like this. Let's angle this wave small like this, okay? Come in like that. And then, watch this. I'm gonna wipe off the bottom, kind of like we did our cloud. I'll come in like this, and I'll go more horizontal across like that. So this is kind of like these waves are kind of in front of this stamp as well as behind. So it's kind of enveloping the stamp, the wave, the great wave stamp a little bit. Now it's kind of enveloping it a lot. We have it going in back and in front like that, okay? All right, this is called Rocks and Waves. So I have light rocks and waves small. This one's rocks and waves right here. I wanted a nice kind of dramatic foreground for my lighthouse stamp when I created that lighthouse stamp. So to see these rocks and waves kind of match those rocks out there. Looks pretty treacherous. Of course, that's why that's why, you know, why lighthouses exist, because it's treacherous area and we got to have, you know, like a warning for ships. Both auditory and visual, light and the foghorn like that. So we have that like that, and again, open sky. Now this one right here, you got to mask this off if you're going to put anything real solid behind it, like even a light cloud. Well, I don't know, if you stamp out like the cloud cumulus in a really light tone, then you don't have to do it. You don't have to mask this off, but you're doing it in something kind of more dramatic and treacherous, where something like this cloud is stamped in black or something like that, then it's a good idea to mask this off. Let's go ahead and do that right here. I want to see this, what this looks like. Okay, so I'm really going to mop off a lot of that. So I wipe that off pretty significantly, okay? And I wipe around the edges. And then, let's see. Let's do this. I'll kind of have my lighthouse as the center of focus here, okay? So I'm going to mask that off like about like so. Now you can cut it. I mean, this is one of those images where I usually don't do cutout masks, but maybe with the great wave, maybe it's a good idea to cut a mask out for the wave. Cut it out of, you know, a piece of paper or something like that, and kind of undercut a little bit so you have some of that cloud, some of the wave showing. Okay, but here this goes like this. Okay, so you have some of this showing right here. Let me see if I can get an impression in there. Like that. Okay. Now I'm always going to have that cloud facing the same direction. Okay, you can change the angle a little bit, but for the most part, you know, keep the direction pretty similar. Okay, so that was stamped out there. So I'm not going to do it like this, although you can in certain situations, but on this one I probably would keep it all the same direction. And here I'm going to change the angle slightly, like that. Okay. Now let's go for another one right over here. Now see, I have that big gap in between that cloud right there. So I didn't undermask enough, okay? But we can fill that in with texture, or tone, actually. All right, see that right there? So you kind of just, when you start coloring in, you kind of fill that in with a little bit of color, like a Copic marker or something like that, alcohol marker. All right, let me go for an extra impression here. So I stamped it once. I'm going to stamp it again here. It should be a little bit lighter, like that. And let's go for a third impression like this, okay? So I have a little bit of light coming from right back in there. I mean, I could fill it in. I'm going to have leave a little bit of space in there for like an opening in the clouds. They call it I mentioned it's like a cloud portal or something like that. That impression was pretty dark right there, but I'll fill that in with a little bit of white pigment ink. Or, I tell you what, let's do this. Mask it off a little bit. Do one more. Maybe I won't have so much of a portal. Okay, let's say I filled that in like that. But look how that is like really dramatic like that. Here I've been wiping off my my imagery with this little piece of dry paper towel here. Let me just use that while this is still a little bit moist. And I'll show you where the drama can come into play. Okay. So this right here, I'm kind of toning in this cloud a little bit in back of the wave like that. See that right there? But you retain some of the light on there. Some of the light on the cloud. So in other words, just don't tone everything out. It's like applying a very light gray into the mix. Create a little bit of a shadow at the base of the light rocks and waves small, but I want that drama of that splash to be fairly light, so I'll leave it somewhat light, lighter at least. I said I wasn't going to color in, but doing this kind of tone like this, it goes pretty fast. All right, darken in a little bit underneath my wave, like that. Getting some tone in the waves, okay? Yeah, I don't want it just like completely uncolored, okay? Now this isn't great for like detailed areas, like you can hit the underside of this wave with some, alcohol marker or something. These waves are kind of like illuminated down here. There's some lighting hitting, some of these waves. You got a lot of light and dark within the composition. Trying to create a little bit more range here, darkening the underside of the cresting wave. All right, So you have something like that. Now these rocks are on the shore here. Let's put a little bit more foreground just to vary the foreground a little bit more. Now I'm not taking too much time here, but it'd be, you know, I'd adding in some white pigmenting before I did these reeds here would probably be a better idea, so that when I stamp the reeds out over the top of white pigmenting, it's, you know, these, you know, grassy textures like that would be a little bit more crisp. Little birds up there like that. I don't know if I want to stamp that that boat right in here. If I stamped it right here, it'd be a little bit. It's higher than the lighthouse. I don't know. I can put it right down here though. I don't know. It's just such a stormy thing, and they're coming right into the rocks. I'm not going to do that to these fishermen. So anyway, you have that right there. You can see what kind of a little bit of soft next to something kind of craggy looks like. Now, if I did this in light blue or something like that, it would contrast kind of emotionally against this. It would be like rough seas down here and a soft, light, billowy sky or something of that sort. Right here again, you know, this would be a great spot for a quote up here too. Talking about like stormy seas and kind of whatever, getting through them, that type of thing. Big Wednesday, the endless summer right here. Here's our tiny rock small. You know how I like to use that stamp an awful lot. Believe it or not, it took me a while to draw this little tiny stamp and just getting the balance just right, knowing how I was going to use it. Sometimes the simplest stamps are the most complex to draw, because you got to get a lot of information into a very simple form, or it's going to be really quite useful. All right, so there are some examples right there. Just kind of some quick examples, and like I said, you know, different types of skies or something like that. I might finish these off. You can do something like this if you have an old galleon ship or something like that, kind of like tipping or something like that. That would be fun in this type of, with these images right here. But I'll do some, you know, some other types of applications with these here. I might finish these off. I might put a sunset or something like that down here. That would really take me back. My favorite time to surf was at sunset and twilight. Never the best ways. It was always in the morning, but, you know, and when it's really a lot colder too. But sunset was always beautiful, a beautiful time to surf, because the light would be coming through a wave. It looked like you were surfing in like molten gold or something like that, sparkly, and, you know, just a really magic time and beautiful colors in the sky. So anyways, if you have any questions, drop me a note. If you have this set, I hope you've given you some, I don't know, maybe some different ideas on how to utilize them. But anyways, if you have the set, I hope you have fun using it, or hope you've been having fun using it over the years. And like I said, if you have any questions, drop me a note in the comments section. Thanks for watching.